You are now listening to the Inner Circle Podcast Network.
Never die. 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 Never die.
Fuck you. All right, it is 4:06 a.m. and you might be wondering what time that is in the central. I don't know. It's Central Mountain Time or Central Time, whatever the fuck it is. It is 6 o'clock over there. But before we get into that, I want to thank Jon Andersen's Thrive Body Transformation Program. Look, if you want to lose weight, feel great, get in shape, and get control of something that you think you've lost, well, guess the fuck, we can easily do that with Jon Andersen at Thrive Body Transformation Program. Just reach out to him, let him know that the Angry Dad sent you, and he'll take care of you. CH Concrete, serving the San Francisco Bay Area. That is CH Concrete, serving the San Francisco Bay Area. No job too big, no job too small. Residential, commercial, does not matter. CH Concrete can help you. Just mention the Angry Dad, and they'll take care of you. Sleep Terror Clothing. Those who know, those who see, have a beautiful beard, and that beautiful beard is taken care of by Leviathan Cross. Leviathan Cross is a beard oil designed by Sleep Terror Clothing, and it doesn't come with those stupid fucking droppers. It comes with a special little top. Tap it on your fucking hand, and guess the fuck what? You got the perfect fucking amount. You can also get hats, shirts, art prints, all that good shit at sleepterrorclothing.com. And Official is a hip-hop inspired street brand, taking old school symbols, old school emblems, and rehashing them, making them cool as fuck. I'm wearing the Official hat, and you know what? You can get 25% off at official.com. Just use code AngryDad at checkout and get hooked the fuck up at official.com. Also, to Feast Mode. Those who know, those who show. If you want to flavor your food, you can easily do that at feastmode.com. All organic ingredients. You can turn the label around, and you know what? It is real shit. All right. The sugar they use is beet sugar, so it's a lot better than regular fucking cane sugar. So you know what? It is good fucking shit. I use it. Asiago jalapeno is my favorite, and I also like to use Tennessee whiskey. Tennessee whiskey is my second favorite, so make sure you go check it out at feastmode.com. Just use code AngryDad at checkout for 10%. Let's get right in the show. Brad Brumley. All right. The Coffee Buzz Podcast. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for waking up early and joining me, even though I'm a little earlier than you. But that's how it goes when you got that time zone difference.
Yeah, you're the one that's up early, man. What is it, 4 a.m. your time?
Oh, yeah, 4 a.m. my time.
Oh, man. Wild animals aren't even up this early.
Not even. My dogs are still sleeping in their beds.
Of course.
Oh, yeah, Brad, how you been?
I've been good. Yeah, just trucking along, trying to, keep up with the podcast, trying to keep up with you. You're doing you got what, 3 podcasts now? You just started a new one? Oh yeah, 3 podcasts. And I'm working on the project now, which it is out now, so I can just talk about. I'm now podcast producing for Legends of Iron, and it's actually very eye-opening and very. It's a lot of work, but when you're passionate about what you do, it's not work. That's the crazy part about that. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm working almost 20. I'm literally a 24/7 an hour person, 7 days a week on this, because I'm constantly reaching across different time zones, continents, and speaking with public figures in the fitness community, like in bodybuilding, strongman, powerlifting, in just social media influencers that are out there. So it's freaking busy, and somehow I'm still able to keep up with my podcast. Yeah, I don't know how you do it, man. I barely put out one a week. And
well, that one a week you do, though, it's great content. You know what I'm saying? Because you got a lot of thought and effort into what you do. So every time I listen to it, it's almost like a meditation point in my life where I know when I'm going to listen to you, I'm going to hear something that's something that I want, that I'm interested in, that I never follow through. Because I've been trying to get you on for a while, and talking about meditation, talking about cold therapy, talking about these things, because these are things that you talk about all the time. You know what I'm saying? My set of mindset is a vice grip of grab the world and take what you want. But yours is you know what? This is the energy. This is what you need. It's a calming, soothing. So it's very it's nice, because I'm so used to in your face motivation, but getting that you know what? He's right. Let me take a deep breath, figure out what the fuck I'm doing.
Well, yeah, I think it was DJ from The Untrained Eye that said you and I are like bookends. We're like two sides of the same coin. We kind of go about it a different way, but we have
a lot of commonality, a lot of themes that are the same. You know what I mean?
Exactly. It's so crazy, like, and I've been trying, like, I recently went to a not sleep deprivation. It's those, what are those tanks that Joe Rogan's always talking about?
Immersion therapy.
It's you basically go into this pod and it's full of salt. Like, it's basically just an overpriced, and I'm saying overpriced, Epsom salt bath, because that's how I'm going to describe it, because they're like, oh, it's got Epsom salt in it, but it's a higher grade Epsom salt and it's a thicker concentrate than you can make at your house.
Okay.
And before we start, they're like, oh, would you like some tea? All this stuff. They're showing us like all this, like, and I'm going to call it, like, I'm trying to describe it where it's like, it's all, I'm trying to think of the word for it, but it's very holistic. It's very holistic, and it's foreign to me because I'm not a holistic style person. You know what I'm saying? Because they're like, they're showing me breathing techniques. They're showing me, meditation techniques. And the one thing they say about this is it is a practice thing. You can't just like, it's my first time. I don't know what the fuck I'm expecting. I don't know what the fuck I'm going to do. All I know is I'm going to get in this tank, and will I see some shit? Like everyone always says, will I fucking, take off? And so, like, I don't know what to expect. So I'm kind of expecting like this whole thing, but they're telling me how to meditate, and they're showing me the breathing technique that it's like, 2 in, 4 out, 4 in, or, like this whole thing. So I'm like, fuck, I'm definitely not getting this. So I go into this tank, and I'm like, I'm too tall for the tank right off top. I'm like half an inch from the bottom, half an inch from the top, and I can't spread my arms out because I'll just touch like the ends. And they give you whole techniques on how to lay there, because the Epsom salt literally just keeps you afloat, so you're not going to touch the bottom. Oh yeah. Cool. It feels it just basically feels like thick water, and I'm in there. And I'm and like they're playing soothing music to help set you into the mood meditation. And didn't meditate at all. I tried.
Maybe you did. I think some people have an over expectation for meditation. Because I've been doing it for, I don't know, a while now. And even when I wake up first thing in the morning, and before I even have my coffee, I go and I make the coffee. I call it my coffee meditation to start off. Like, I start my maker, go back into the living room and just sit there. But my mind is just going crazy. You know what I mean? Before I've even had caffeine. And I think some people think I'm going to meditate and all my thoughts are just going to stop. I'm going to reach this Zen state. And that's not really what it's about, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And by no means am I an expert, but just in my practice, like it's more about just kind of letting that mind. It's almost like when you take a dog to the dog park and it just runs around and finally it tires out.
Yeah.
You just have to wait for it to tire out all the way.
Yes. And that's the thing too, is like, the mind, that what you're describing there is how I would feel in the gym, where when I would train, like I would get into this flow state of like, I can only see what I'm doing. I cannot, there's no other outside thought. And it's like this moment of clarity where I feel like no stress, no pressure. And that just in what you're describing there, that's like how I feel I can compare that. But in this meditation tank, I'm like, I don't feel anything. And so I'm a little disappointed, but my wife got it for me for Father's Day gift. So I finally cashed it in. And the one thing they had told me was it actually had the Epsom salt itself, which, it does pull soreness and joint, it's Epsom salt is known to help heal your body.
Oh, okay.
So what ended up happening is they're like, hey, you might not feel this right away, but in a day or two, you're going to feel better.
Interesting.
Yeah. And after I got out, and it's because it's all warm to skin temperature. So like when I got out, I felt good. You know what I'm saying? I was like, oh, I actually do feel relaxed. Like if anything, because they have like pop things you can hook up music to and listen to, or like, I would definitely do it again, but I would have them run a meditation, or not a meditation, like a motivational speaking, because I have actual motivated speakers that I like to listen to.
Yeah.
I wish I could think of the top of my head, but I can't. And, I just like to listen to them. Like I have them like in between music as I'm going, because all of a sudden it'll give me like 30 seconds of motivational thoughts.
Yeah.
And I would rather play that. But when they say you would feel better a day or two after, it was like really like I was feeling better. Like my shoulder, my back, I was like, like I was literally like, just like, well, there's something to that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, to the point where I was like, I would go back because I am feeling like not tender or sore now. And, I was, I have a certain pain level that I have to live with. And it kind of went away for a little bit. And I was like, that's so fucking weird. And then I took my brother with me, and he literally just got done with back in right before December. He had to get half of his stomach removed, half his esophagus removed, because he had esophagus cancer.
Oh man.
Stage 3 was really bad. He's been all fucked up. And so like, I was like, I'm doing this, come with me. So we both went, and he was like, we were both just sitting on my couch because he can't spend the weekend with me. And he was like, do you feel better? And I was like, I actually do. And he told me the same thing. And I was like, wow, there might be that. It's to the point where like, I would like to go back. I would like to go back. It's something I'm going to venture into a little bit more. I don't know when I'm going to, but I'm definitely going to.
Yeah. Now, does this same facility, do they do the cryo chambers, or is it just?
Oh, I wish. There's actually a cryo chamber that just opened up around the corner from my house. They reached out to me on Instagram.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And I was like, well, I'm definitely making play, because I have body injuries where I need some kind of therapy. And so like cryo's always been on my my peripheral of doing it. But the access to it is limited in the area, because like I'm on in the Bay Area, there's tons of them, but I'm like just right on the outside of the cusp where it's not worth it for me to drive to it. But if there was one like a half hour away from me, I'm like, oh, okay, that's not too bad. But if I got to drive an hour there and then maybe possibly drive 2 hours back home, because there's never traffic going there. But for me, there's always traffic coming back because everyone's always commuting. So it's like one of those things, just like, even when I go get my kids, like I live 45 minutes away from my kids, my youngest son, when I go pick him up. And if I leave my house at 12, wait for him to get out of school at 2. So when he comes up this weekend with me, I won't get home till 7 o'clock p.m.
My God.
Yeah. And that's just sitting in traffic. And then and with that much of a time span, I'm like, we stop, we eat, we come back. That does lengthen it, but it's like, we're still sitting in traffic regardless of what we're doing. That's how manic it is.
Man, I'm not going to complain about this Austin traffic then. I don't think of any commutes to last that long, but
yeah.
At least you guys stop along the way.
With driving like that, you got to take a break, because I'll tell you right now, not stretching your legs, not to get this, because I've done it a few times where I just like, nope, I'm going to drive it straight through. And then I get out of the car and I'm hunched over like trying to stretch, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I wonder, I've never done the cryotherapy, which a lot of people, a friend of mine said, you're all about cold showers and you've never done cryotherapy. And there's a place down the street, but I'm too cheap, Ben. Like I'm like, well, I can just, especially right now, if I turn that cold water on, I mean, it's like 30 degrees outside right now. So I'm sure the cryotherapy is colder.
Yeah.
But
I'm the same way. It's like, and my son always, it's a dad thing. If it's too expensive, you don't want it. And if it's not on sale, you don't want it. And I'm like, well, I can't help that. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes we got to justify spending that kind of money on us. Cause like, even with the cryotherapy, it could range from $100 to $50 for at least in my area, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, it's not a cheap thing. And then one of the things too is like, I always see them on Groupon, but they're always like that far away where I'm like, oh no, I'm good. You know what I'm saying?
So
exactly.
if I can't find a deal on it, it's not worth that price. And then they offer like memberships where you spend like, oh, you spend $1,000 a month. It's unlimited. I'm like, well, I'm not spending $1,000 a month for something
Oh,
that I don't
man.
know nothing to fuck about.
Yeah. No, I'm sure it works, just like, cold showers and ice baths work, but
Yeah.
I can go down, and if I really want to get crazy, I could go down and buy a $4 bag of ice and throw it in my
And
tub,
that's it.
and you sit in there for 5 minutes, and it's going to change your state of mind
Yeah.
for sure. Yeah, I first got into that because I noticed when I was watching football that people would get injured, and you'd see them, like they would show scenes in the locker room and they're icing it. And I thought,
Yep.
that's interesting, and then I just started seeing these polar bear or these old people that would jump in the river or whatever on New Year's Day. I'm like, usually old people have some stuff figured out. They've been
Yeah.
around a while. And then I got into Wim Hof, and it was just this rabbit hole. And
Yeah.
now I've been taking cold showers for about a year now. And I'll throw in a warm one occasionally, a regular one.
Yeah.
It feels weird now. I'm like, this is too hot.
Yeah, I just recently spoke with Matt Vince, and he was telling me, because like there's a company out there that makes ice barrels, so it's basically like an insulated barrel.
Yes.
And you and he says, I just keep ice and water in all the time, and every single morning he says I go out there, dunk myself in, meditate, and he says the ice barrel is perfect because once you put yourself in there, it's big enough to once you squat down that you're basically just neck high. And I'm like, well, I told him how big I am, and he's like, then you might need a bath one. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, it just goes like that.
You need one of those like metal feed troughs for
Yeah.
the livestock. I've seen some people that use those. They just keep it outside.
Oh, let me tell you right now. I've talked to you about my hot tub. I got my hot tub, and when I have it up and running, that right there is, and like I said, and that's why I've always known the hot tub part, but I've never done the ice part. But like with the hot tub, after a good workout, after a good, and I should be icing, but the thing is like when I got my hot tub, I got it the highest heat it'll go. I'll sit in there, and my wife's like, it's too hot, and I'm like, I don't care. And I get in that hot tub, and I can literally feel my back just open up. You know what I'm saying? Because the majority of us always have back pain, and I have my back pain due to an accident. And once I usually do about a half hour in the hot tub, and I'll get out, but then I find myself not being able to go up my stairs to go take a shower because I'm so freaking relaxed, and so like I'm even breathing hard because my body's just like, oh my God, I got to go up these stairs. You know what I'm saying? After I force myself upstairs, and I'm like, but that's just one of those things that, like, for me at least, that's what I've been doing. But the ice bath, doing that separate, like even when you first started talking about, and this is like last year sometime, you were talking about putting the bag of ice on the shower head.
Yes.
And excuse me, I'm not put the ice bath on but I'm like, you know what? I actually feel a little like, let me just put it on cold and then jump in. And holy shit, you should have heard me scream. I was like, what was I thinking? But I stuck it out. And I was like, hey, and it did wake me up better than a cup of coffee.
Yeah. As much as I love coffee, it will do that. Whenever I was doing that ice thing, I mean, I had been doing it a while, but it, as the summer comes on, it gets more of kind of a lukewarm temperature, at the coldest. And I started having, like a month or two in, it just, I'm going to say it calmed down, or it silenced my inner bitch. You know what I mean? Like I used to be somebody that would get like angry very easy, pissed off, kind of anxious if things just didn't go just right or whatever. And this, and I can't say enough good things about it, because, and when people hear me talk about this, they're like, you're insane. Like, there's no way it does that. But it, my anxiety got so bad at one point, I was even taking medication for it, just to kind of like keep myself at a baseline. And I don't need that stuff anymore. Like, I look at those little when I was putting the ice in that mesh bag and hanging it over my shower, I'm like, each one of these are like my little anxiety pills. Each ice cube I drop in here.
That's it.
You just become kind of like, things don't bother you. It just, the noise goes from like 11 down to 2, just after a few months. And as painful as it is that first time out, like anything else, it gets easier. Now I wish I could get it this cold all the time. I'm gonna have to figure out a way. Maybe I'll get one of those barrels.
Like I said, it's something that I've been interested in and something I've been wanting to talk to you about, because I'm like, maybe a combination of this ice barrel plus meditation. Because like even talking with Matt, I wish I can just remember the breathing technique he was telling me about. It's like the parasympathetic breathing nerve, or it starts with a P, but it's like nerve something. There it is. It is. That's exactly what he was like. I need to start, because he was telling me, he's like, because he's going through the same situation when he went through his. He says this parasympathetic nerve. He says when you practice this breathing technique, it really helps start your day and really helps you focus on what you're trying to do.
Yes.
And so, he was really telling. So, I've been looking into it, and I'm like, all right, I got to really, really try this. And then not even talking about it, but writing it down, practice.
There you go.
Do this. I've been doing not journaling, but I've been writing down my thoughts. I've been working on doing that more, because the majority of the time is and it's funny too, because I started off with sticky notes, and now now I actually got a book.
Oh, nice.
Just writing shit down, because before that it's like no. When I remember is when I'll do it. That's how it's always been. But
there's something to writing down an idea. I think even more so than just because I used to just keep a notepad on my computer. I think, as much as I love computers, I don't think that works as well as like physically, because you take a thought and you are then putting it into physical form. And that
doing that, I find more that's what I'm being able to accomplish more, because I am writing it down.
That
like
parasympathetic, that's where most of us say, and people think of when they just hear the name parasympathetic, they're like, oh, that's a good one, because or that's the bad one, right? Parasympathetic, because the other one is the sympathetic nervous system, which seems like, oh, that would be better state to be in, but it's actually not, because that is our fight or flight mode. And most of us stay there way too long. Like I used to be in that fight or flight mode, like 20 18 hours out of the day. And things like meditation, cold therapy, they trigger that parasympathetic system, and you can just, it just, like he said, you can focus it shit just doesn't matter as much anymore.
And that's one of the things that he was telling me. I was like, oh, and I had him on my show, I think about 3 or 4 episodes back, but it's like trying to reach out to people that do things differently is more what I'm trying to do now, because what I do works only to a point. And so it's like trying to get out of my box to find a comfort zone that's not, or a comfort zone that's different, and a comfort zone that's gonna put me in a better state of mind than usually how I am. Because like I said, I'm very calm, very all this stuff when it comes to being outside and handling business and taking care of stuff, but sometimes I do catch myself flying off the handle.
It's easy to do. Our brains really haven't evolved much from like back 200, 300, 400 years ago, whatever it is. And we have to kind of seek these things out, and being able to share knowledge with other people, get different perspectives. I mean, I never would have thought to jump in a cold shower, but I had a guest on my podcast, I don't know, a little over a year ago, and he's a YouTube guy, and he was really into it. And he just kept talking about it in the podcast, and I was like, I got to give this a shot, but I never would have thought of that had I not talked to this crazy guy from the UK.
And that's exactly what got me into it. Is hearing you constantly saying, I'm like, all right.
Oh yeah, I won't shut up about it on the show.
I was like, I'm going to give this a try. And I was like, I started doing it and I was like, oh, okay. Oh, okay. There might be something to this because I'm like, and then,
yeah. And
yeah, because when I jumped in,
I know you probably went all in right away.
Yeah, that you calling it. You calling it. It is what it is. You're like, nope.
Yeah. You may want to try a more measured approach. I don't know if you're still doing it, but some people will take their regular shower and then they just slowly at the end, they back it down.
After going gun ho, that's what I started doing, where I started like, okay, I can do that. And, and I haven't gone full gun ho again, but I'm like, just, like turning it. Because there's a transition period from that cold water hitting you to like, okay, now I'm comfortable and familiar with this. So that's exactly what I've been doing, is like, just a little bit at a time, but I not been full gun ho. And I want to say in the last 3 months.
Yeah. Yeah, it takes a while to kind of get used to it. But it's not like you have to take a 30-minute shower in the cold.
Yeah.
Wim Hof is the guy that I just, am kind of obsessed with. He's the one that even turned that YouTube guy that I was talking to onto this method of cold therapy. And he says 2 minutes is all you really need. About the time I start to get used to it, that's, usually the time I get out.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
that's good to know then, because like even when I did it the first time, I did like a full shower. And I'm like, how in the hell does he do this?
My wife thinks I'm insane. She looks at me like, did you really just take a cold shower? Oh yeah, it becomes your normal.
Yeah.
And I don't think about taking a cold shower every day, but when I go in there, I'm like, I'm gonna do it today, because I know this investment is paying off dividends.
Yeah.
Huge. And so I just, and if I feel like I'm just not at 100% today, I think part of it is like giving yourself, a little bit of leeway and saying, take a regular shower. You know what I mean? Like you're not going to be fined or whatever, one day won't hurt you. So you got to like, kind of be a little bit patient with yourself with the process. I had to.
Oh, I'm definitely gonna be working on that a lot more, because
I think if you had that ice bath and then go ice bath into your hot tub. Oh man, I think that would be a good combination. You get the ice and the heat.
Let me tell you something right now. I'm a Facebook Marketplace person, and I'm constantly buying stuff from Facebook Marketplace, like consistently. But the thing is I've always been a wheel-in dealer. Mm-hmm. I've always had the ability to talk my way into stuff. And I bought my hot tub for $400, and we put it in ourselves, so we saved quite a bit of money there. Yeah. Oh yeah. But I've been wanting to buy. I've been looking for almost like an insulated container, so I can build a cold tub. But I've also been looking for a sauna. I'm trying to see if I can find me an infrared sauna. I've seen them pop up a few times, but my wife keeps telling me we don't got the room. I'm like, I know we don't got the room. We have a really big, we have a decent sized backyard, but it's like the hot tub takes up a corner. A cold tub would take up a corner, and then a sauna would take up a corner. And she's like, I'm like, but this is all to make us feel better. You know what I'm saying?
What better things to put in your yard?
Exactly. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. What else are you going to do? Just grow grass,
You know what I'm saying? Don't worry. No one's going to notice. Oh yeah. So, I don't know if I even sent it to you. I sent it to, I don't think I shared it with anybody, but I actually just bought a leg press.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So it's like a leg press / hex squat machine for $350. Wow. The guy, and me and my wife just we're always do-it-yourselfers, DIY, fix everything, and then plus I'm extremely handy with tool. It just comes natural to me. And my wife, she's very creative, so she reupholstered all the seats, and we took apart the leg press. I sanded it down, painted it, greased it, reset it, and built everything. So now. We have a legit full like leg day machines, cable machines, dumbbells, all that. So now we have our own little, we do go to the gym every so often because it's weird how a change of scenery will change the attitude towards what you're doing.
Absolutely.
You know, it's so insane. Just a little shift, and all of a sudden everything's renewed to you.
Yeah. Yeah, it's so true. I'm reading that Atomic Habits right now, and they talk about that, you know, that you changing, you need to be mindful of your environment. If you're trying to cultivate good habits or get rid of bad ones, you know, you have to prime your environment, because our brains are lazy, you know, like they go to what's convenient.
Yeah.
And so you have to make the good things easy and the bad things hard.
Yeah.
And that's a great way to do it. You just set up to where you can, I'm assuming it's in your garage.
Oh, yeah. We you know, I've never ever, I don't know who in the fuck parks their cars in the garage. Weirdos, I guess, but you know
I
what
would
I'm saying?
love to, but I'm not that organized in my life right now. Maybe after my kid gets a little older.
Let me tell you right. My wife, she used to park her car in the garage, as I say that. And, I literally cleared, like, you know, once we moved in together, I cleared out all this garage stuff that was unnecessary. And then all of a sudden I'm putting up mirrors. All of a sudden we got a dumbbell rack. All of a sudden, because we even bought I even have the rubber mats that go on the floor.
Oh, wow.
And you know, for people that want to do that in their garage. And my wife said, "Don't damage the cement." So we went and got horse mats from Tractor Supply store.
Yeah.
And those are the exact same ones they use at the gym. The only difference is that they're just said they're meant for horses. So, you know what I'm saying? They can take the weight, the hooves, all that stuff. So it's like, you know, it's the best way. So I completely laid out the floor and got it all like, you know, premium setup. So like when you walk in there, it's literally just like, the only thing is I wish I had was better lighting, because then I would look better.
Right. Now, do you think you'll ever get to a place where you will have everything you need in your garage and you won't even need a gym?
Well, and here's the thing is like, me and my wife had talked about this before, where, you know, we have our house here and we do look every so often for a bigger place that's slightly out of town, just so we can have the kind of space to do that. Because like we even discussed this new trend that we discovered on TikTok, which is called a Barndominium.
Oh, okay.
So it's just a huge metal shaped farm or barn, and the majority of the people use like a quarter of it as a house, so they can make 1 to 2 bedrooms, upstairs, downstairs, in one corner, and then the rest is a garage. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So for like, this side, you could literally like, oh, here's my cars, here's my boats, here's all. And my wife's super creative. Like she's very talented in painting. Oh, and nice. Like even this wall behind me, she did this.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? She's like the most creative person she'll think of projects and all of a sudden build it. It's so fucking crazy to me.
That's cool.
Yeah. And so, she'd like to have her art side where she can do paintings and crafts. Oh, yeah. And then my wife does love to work out just as much as me. Mm-hmm. So we would literally just have just like you said, the kind of equipment that is needed to obtain the body that we want. Yeah. And so it's so funny because like, we have what we need now, but there is stuff that we would love to be like, what you would call like the dream setup.
Yeah.
So we're always constantly just like, maybe, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Well, it should be about time for people to start breaking resolutions. And so I bet on Marketplace, you can probably snatch some equipment on the cheap.
I want to say maybe 3 or 4 months ago, the gym price or equipment prices started dropping because once the gyms closed, last year, before they reopened, everybody was trying to snag up all the equipment. Everybody was trying to get in on the selling prices of how much stuff was costing. So like it literally got out of hand. Like weights literally got almost to $3 a pound.
Gee.
Yeah, exactly. And I swear to God, thank you for giving me the foresight to buy what I bought before it started happening, because like I started buying equipment because I foreseen the gyms closing right before the pandemic hit. So I bought squat racks. I bought exactly. I bought all this stuff, and then what ended up happening
is I made a lot of connections with people that were just buying weights, and they were like, look, you're the only consistent person I have. Everyone else is flaking, doesn't show. Because like when you shop on Facebook Marketplace, is it available? People will never fucking respond. Like everyone wants to chart, like basically trying to get everything free. Well, if you're trying to give it away, I'll just take it. And I'm like, and I've never been like that. Like I'll tell people straight up. I'm like, hey, that's how much that costs. All right, I'll buy it.
Yeah.
But if you get more, let me know. And then that's how like you build that rapport with people. And they're like, oh, no. I'll give it to you just a little bit more than what I paid for it. And so then I freaking like lucked up. What I'm saying? Lucked up.
Well, it works the inverse way too, because you're talking about people that won't respond, that are on the selling side. They like you because I do a little bit of selling myself, and finding someone that will be there when they say is kind of a rare thing. You're a preferred customer.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? Because like people are always playing around when it comes to like knowing what they want. But the thing is I know like if I'm reaching out to you, it's specifically because this is what I want. And if you're willing to work on the price, guess what? I will. I'm not like the one things I always say is like when you get those people that message you, they're like, I'll give you $20 for it. I just said I wanted $150 for it. You know what I'm saying? If you'd have been like, hey, can I get this for $120? Shit, even if you would have been like, would you do $100? Because guess what? Round numbers, $20 bills. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, yeah, I'd have did that, but no, get fucking lost. You know what I'm saying?
No, it's true. Yeah, absolutely. You got to deal with some clowns sometimes.
Oh, yeah.
That's part of the gig.
It is part of the gig. It's so fucking hilarious.
Yeah, I'm starting my kid. We're gonna start a little arbitrage business where we're gonna do the Gary Vee thing. And today we're going. That's why I had to get up so early and get you out of bed. So we go to garage sales. We just find things, post them up, and make a few bucks. You know what I mean?
Nice.
It's a good experience for her, I think.
Oh yeah, it is good. And it too is learning how to bargain, because you know what I'm saying. Like that at a young age. I was always trying to figure out ways to make money, but when nowadays it's kind of like kids don't have the understanding of the value of money anymore. That's how it feels to me. But when you start teaching people how to like, hey, this is how much this costs, but guess what? I feel I can get it for a little bit less. Would you do this? Would you do this? You know what I'm saying? That back and forth is almost a lost language when it comes to shopping.
That's true. And I've seen people do it at retail stores. I got a buddy that he'll just go like, can I get any kind of discount on that? And Best Buy, they'll be like, well, hold on, let me go talk to somebody. He gets 20% off or something. You know what I mean?
And that's the taxes right there and some.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And you do that enough. I mean, that'll
it
save you some money.
It definitely adds up. Like it's one thing, like every time I'm on Facebook Marketplace, she's like, what are you doing? I'm like, well, I'm going to try to get this. And like, she was like, oh, okay. And then like, what? Huh? Like she's always like, no, trust me. You know what I'm saying? And the thing too is I'm a back and forth person. So like someone gives me a reasonable offer. Yeah, no, come on down. You know what I'm saying? We'll do that. And I wish my kids would like to do that with me, but they always call me stupid. They're like, that's stupid. Well, if you guys only understood. Well,
wait till they start, working and getting bills. You get a whole, I don't think you can really have that perspective of the value of money and like what it actually takes to generate that until you're in the driver's seat. Like you just can't know. Just like having kids, you on the outside looking in, you don't have a good perspective. You never are ready to have a full appreciation of the experience until you dive into that, into parenthood.
And it's the truth.
I think a lot of being open to haggle, like you said, like asking, hey, will you take 100 for this instead of 120?
Yeah.
There's a certain level of confidence you have to do that respectfully, I think.
That's it.
And I think confidence is a skill.
Oh, no, it has to be a practice skill. I was just having a talk with my son about that because he's like, he's going through a little bit of issues and he's like, I'm like, no, it's this, it's, and I use the term loosely as you got to fake it to make it. And the more you fake it, the more easy it's going to look and the more easy it's going to be because it's like, I'm not sure. No, you are sure.
No, you are sure. Yes,
Yeah.
you are sure. The more that you practice that, the more confidence is in your face to say it. And then the more it starts working, guess the fuck what? It starts fucking, you start being more confident.
Exactly. And it becomes your identity. Like at first it feels weird, you know, to put yourself in these situations that you don't feel comfortable in.
Yep.
But eventually your identity takes it on, and then it's autopilot.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, trust me. I had to do a lot of faking it to make it. You know what I'm saying? Like even somehow, like getting myself into the circles of people that I have. And I'm not saying I'm a fake person, but what I'm saying is like, man, you're very. I was like, nah, because on the inside, I'm stressed out. You know what I'm saying? It just seems like that because I'm pushing that narrative because I need you guys to be impressed.
Yeah. Well, man, what you're doing is impressing me. Your work ethic is, you know, you inspire me. Anytime I start to feel lazy, I'm like, Ben's doing 3 podcasts and you can't get up this morning to do 1. Like, come on, dude. You know.
Well, you know, I learned that work ethic from my mom. Because my mom took care of me, my grandma. I had a mentally handicapped uncle, my brothers and my sisters, and she used to work 2 to 3 jobs, and not once did she ever let us hear her complain when we were kids about it. She complains about it now that I'm older. I'm like, I used to fucking work all the fuck. I'm like, and I was like, you've earned that, Mom. But you know, like she used to work all these jobs all the time and still have time to take us to do stuff. And my mom, to this day, she can retire. She should retire, but she still works. And she drives almost 2 hours every day to work because she chooses to live out in the sticks. It takes an hour from her house to the freeway, then an hour from the freeway to her job. And she does it every day. No, you know, she complains about the people she works with. Oh, they're lazy. And no one wants to show up to work. You know what I'm saying?
Complaining about the actual doing of the work. Yeah.
Or driving to get there. You know what I'm saying? She is rare. Yeah, but that's the example that I grew up having and learning. That's the example. I'm like, nope, grit your teeth, get it done. You know, my mom had a saying, so life's a bitch, and then that's what it is. You know what I'm saying? She's all that it's just what it is. You this is the hand you dealt, deal with it. And so, you know, that's and just seeing that kind of hard work, because of her, I've stuck with the most insanest, craziest jobs and worked years at them and never once was like, fuck this place. You know what I'm saying? I was like, no, I showed up. I appreciate me working here. I understand. I know when to leave now. But, you know, back then I was like, no, this is paying my bills. This is making the money. This is what I do. My mom did it. I can do it.
Well, you know, by not complaining, you take yourself out of that victim role.
Yeah.
I'm real big into the Stoics. And I think Marcus Aurelius might have said this, but he said, don't be caught complaining even to yourself. And that was powerful to me because sometimes I won't say it out loud, but, you know, like I said, that inner bitch is like, oh, this is, you know, I don't want to do this. This isn't funny. And once you get past that, you know, and stop that voice, man, you know, then there's just not as many problems.
Yeah.
You know, because you go around complaining, guess what? More of that stuff is just going to come in. You know, it sound like a law of attraction annoying.
No, it's true.
But, I mean, it's true. What we think about grows. You know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%. You know, like and it's crazy to say that because, like, you know, I never knew what to call it, but I guess it would be, you know, how you're saying stoicism. But when I had first started working at Costco, I started off as a truck driver. And everyone that I worked with, almost everyone, the majority of the people that would like to talk with me, all they ever did was bitch and complain about having too much work, doing too much work, being here, saying these things. And it pulled me into that mindset. And I didn't realize it. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're like, oh, my truck's fucked up. They didn't do my shit right. They didn't do any of this stuff. So because, you know, I'm making deliveries. And like it almost took my life to the point where I was like, fuck this shit. I would be in my truck screaming and mad and not realizing, like, man, this is gonna be all fucking day, this and this and this. And, you know, my life was falling apart because I was going through my first divorce. So like, I was like in this deep mindset of like, fuck everything, fuck the world, fuck this job,
fucking, you know, what they're doing. Everyone's out to get me. And I had this mental breakdown in my truck. And when I mean mental breakdown, I had to sit down with myself, and this image popped in my head, like, why am I doing this?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, why am I thinking like this? And then, like, all of a sudden, like, all these images flash in my head of, like, listening to this guy, listening to this guy, listening to this guy. And then in the back of my head, it says, look, one stop at a time. And because, you know, I'm making delivery stops. So, like, one stop at a time. That's what I get paid to do. And so I took a deep breath. I fixed my issue and problem that was causing this, like, blow up.
Yeah.
And once I did that, everything else in my life was like, everything's one step at a fucking time.
There you go.
And then, yeah, exactly. And then all of a sudden I'm like, man, I have a great fucking life. You know what I'm saying? Because so fucking crazy.
Yeah. If you just look at the top of Everest and you're just like, oh, it's so far. How can I get up to the top?
Yeah.
Well, I forget who said it, but how do you eat an elephant? One piece at a time.
There you go.
Yeah. It's brilliant that you had that moment. And sometimes it takes a breakdown to get there.
Yeah. You know, it's so fucking insane. Because, like I said, I've talked about that moment all the time, just even on my own podcast. But, like, you know, just hearing, you know, what it, you know, the word for it, I'm like, oh yeah, that's what that is.
Yeah. No, I hear a lot of stoicism in your podcast. Yeah, I think you would really dig those guys.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to check that out.
Yeah.
Maybe after we're done, you can text me what the book is.
You know what? I've got a good podcast to send you.
Oh, then send it my way then.
I don't know if I am trying to get more into reading this year. You know, I got the Atomic Habits, but I've gotten lazy over the years.
Man, I've been doing audiobooks forever. I actually just listened to an audiobook on Wishmaster. And one of my followers, his name's Sean Duggery. I can't remember the name of the profession he's in, but he reads books for audiobooks.
Oh, wow. That's cool.
Yeah. And so, you know, he's always posting his books. Yeah. And so I was like, you know what? I'm going to listen to a book. I haven't listened because I got the basics. I got 7 Rings. I got the Art of War. You know what I'm saying? I got all these, you know, like, the main, you know, books to listen to when it comes to, like, you know, the strategy and life and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But I was like, no, I actually want to listen to an audiobook because when I was younger, my grandma on my dad's side, we would always do road trips and she would put in an audiobook. And so I was like, I always remember doing that. So, and with the phones, it's so much freaking easier.
Oh man. Yeah.
So I reached out to him. I was like, hey bro, what's your best book? Or not even your best book. What's your favorite book?
Yeah.
And he goes, oh, Wishmaster. And I was like, so I listened to all those, and he was so good at reading it that, like, I would cringe when he would describe, like, the horror scenes. I was like, ooh, like, really? Man, yeah, exactly. Like it was written so well and spoken so well. Like I was like, oh, that was good. You know what I'm saying? Like, I definitely like to listen to another one.
Man, that's a cool gig. I'm curious how he got that. I'm sure.
Well, I'll tag you in his information so then you can be like, you know, you can check it out, and he's pretty cool. He answers everything.
Oh, nice.
You know what I'm saying? So, you know, maybe if you want to check out how he does that.
Yeah, I got to figure something out because they're going to push me out of the workforce in like 20 years.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Right now,
and so, you definitely got that book voice.
Oh, thank you, I appreciate it. I think it's just the mic. I don't think it's me. Yeah, I got to figure out some kind of side hustle between. I got 20 years to figure because I don't want to stop working. I'm like your mom. Yeah. Like, to me, retirement just doesn't. I mean, I want to have money to where I don't have to work.
Exactly.
I still want to do things like that.
Yeah, exactly. You still want to have it's like what people always say is when a lot of times people retire, they die like 5 years later is because there's no purpose now to get up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that's just like I said, like, even when I retire and my wife retires, no, we still want to do things. You know what I'm saying? We always constantly throw stuff up on
like a thought process of like, you're not like almost like a vision board, but we just do the 1 day board.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, we want to get an RV and we want to travel. Oh, we want to go here. We want to do this. I want to build this. I would like to try this, but we can't do it right now because guess what? Our priorities and our responsibilities are here. So we can't really just up and go anywhere.
Yeah. Well, you never know when one of your projects are going to pop, and then you're out of the game of trading your time for money.
Yep.
And I wish they had a different name for retirement, because I squandered much of my youth thinking that's for old people. You know what they should call retirement? It should be called freedom.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? The investment towards freedom.
Yeah. Then if I'm 18, I'm like, they go, well, start your freedom account now. I'm like,
yeah,
oh, I want a freedom account.
Exactly. Like if I would have known when I first started working that what a 401k and a Roth IRA was, you know what I'm saying, that I was like, oh, okay, yeah, I'm going to start this now. And by the time I'm 30, 40, guess what? I'm on the road. You know what I'm saying? Like I constantly tell my kids all this stuff too. The same thing. I'm like, nope, this is what we're going to do. This is what you should do. What, you know, regardless if they're going to do it or not, you know, it's, you know, at least I said it.
Well, even if it doesn't feel like they are taking in or your advice right now, you're planting seeds, you know, and it might take 10 years or whatever, you know, for me, God, it took almost 40 before I started like adulting. And it seems like every month, Ben, something comes, I realized something where I'm not adulting. I'm like, are you kidding me? I'm supposed to be doing this now?
Yes.
You know, just little things.
Oh my God.
You know, you're planting seeds. They're going to pay off eventually.
Yeah. Now that's one of those things is like, you know, sometimes they're like, Dad, you're crazy. I'm like, I know, but guess what I said?
Whenever people tell me I'm crazy, I kind of feel like I'm onto something.
Yeah.
I'm like, I should keep doing this thing, because really when I've gotten crazy and I've been called weird a lot because I'm, you know, a little bit of a weirdo, but I've sort of redefined that to where if someone thinks if someone is weird, really what that means is they are just unapologetically being themselves.
Yep. Goddamn truth. Goddamn truth. That's exactly it, because it's like, no. Guess what? I appreciate who I am.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. You like to go to the gym for 3-4 hours. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
A lot of people think that's crazy, but that's because.
But then they're like, oh, I don't got time to do what you're doing to get your shape or your size. I'm like, no, you do. Yeah. You just choose not to. You know what I'm saying?
Everybody only has 24 hours in a day.
Yep. I got the same amount of time as you got.
That's right. But it's easier to sit on the couch, get a bag of chips, and watch Netflix. You know,
exactly. And the thing too is like, even with watching Netflix, you can watch Netflix on your treadmill. You can watch Netflix on your bike. You could, you know what I'm saying? I do it all the time. I'll pop in a movie and on my phone, because guess what? We all have big screens on our phone now, and we can easily just put on, you know, everything has an app. Amazon, Netflix, Hulu, you know what I'm saying? Like I need to catch up on my show. Go right ahead. But guess what? You can actually still do cardio. And guess what? Almost every show is either a half hour or an hour. And guess what? That's the time span of most shows.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, you've kind of hacked it in a way. You know what I mean? Like you're giving your brain that reward while you're doing something productive.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? It's like we have a TV in our gym.
Mm-hmm.
And when me and my wife like to watch specific shows together, when we do our cardio together. So like, you know, we're like, oh yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, you ever on Hulu, it's called Stand versus Evil. And it's basically by the people who made Evil Dead.
Oh, gotcha.
And it's freaking good. Really? If you have not seen it, it is good.
Now, do you have to have seen Walking Dead?
No, it's not Walking Dead. Yeah, that's completely different because it's horror comedy.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so
like that genre.
And then you would definitely love this one.
Okay.
And then the other one we're watching right now is Righteous Gems. And oh my God, talking about hilarious.
Yeah,
I'm talking about it's so like you know, and it's just because like I said, me and my wife always spend time together too, where we'll sit in the same room, we'll watch TV, and you know, she'll do her thing, I'll do my thing, but the thing is, we're always like, oh no, and within arm's reach, and we'll eat popcorn, do whatever we're going to do at that moment in time, or even like doing cardio. We watch these shows together, and it's like that connection right there where we're both laughing. Like, did you fucking see that?
Yeah, that's awesome. That's, having shared interests like that is huge. That's why, I could tell just by watching the videos on So I Married a Bigfoot.
Yeah.
That you guys just have this cool dynamic, like you can tell y'all have a long, deep relationship. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. And I'm going to just talk a little bit about relationships though, but I've been in relationships where it's one-sided, where like my first marriage was I work, she takes care of the house. Yeah. And then that fell apart. And then my second marriage was we both work, but I do everything because I'm trying to compensate for not ever doing anything. You know what I'm saying? Because before, I worked so many hours and so much job. I literally just had enough time to come home, eat, shower, go to sleep, wake up to go to work. And I would be at work more than I was at home. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like literally, it's all I consume, but I made more than enough money to support my, 3 kids, a house, 2 cars. You know what I'm saying? We had it all. And but the thing is, it still fell apart, even though I worked as hard as I could. And so then I ended up having a second marriage where I worked, but I did all the cooking, I did all the cleaning because I'm like, no, this is what I'm supposed to do. And then now me and Kristen are married. It's no, I'll do this, you do that. I'll do this, you do that. And I'm a list guy. If you give me a list,
yeah,
you know what I'm saying? I'm like, oh no, I'll knock it all out. But the thing is, only on that list is getting knocked out. You know what I'm saying? But and she understands that and she gets that and she, but we the thing is like I've never had a relationship till now where it's I support what you're doing and then I'll support what you're doing, and it's the most craziest dynamic because it's like I'm married to my best friend and we support each other's dreams. You know what I'm saying? Like she's always constant, she's my wall. I bounce ideas off her all day long. And she'll be like, yes, no, yes, tweak it, this, that. You know what I'm saying? She is like my inspiration to do a lot of this stuff because she's critical in telling me what's happening. You know what I'm saying? Because she's like on the outside looking in. And, it's just so fucking insane that it's this weird dynamic that you just like, now I'm like, oh, okay, this is what a healthy relationship is. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? It's not like, it's just, I don't know. It's just so weird to me that's what this is. And the thing is too, is because she's so creative, she's always like, I want to do this. And I'm the person like, no, we're going to do this. You're going to, let's get this. She literally, it's like, I'm thinking about building a new desk and she built a new desk. You know what I'm saying? She was like, just nah, like, yeah, let's do it. It's going to make you feel sane because guess what? If your office is driving, because she's working from home, if your office is driving you nuts, guess the fuck what? Fix it.
Yeah.
Because we're here all fucking day.
There you go. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. That's the key, is having somebody that will be honest with you while at the same time being supportive. They go, you know what? Because my wife will say, oh, on your podcast, she'll say, hey, your show notes are showing up twice. She'll come up and tell me, or she'll say, you sounded like this morning, like you were out of breath. I was like, I was probably coming up the stairs. But at the same time, she's like supportive of it, because sometimes I'll get down. You probably never have this moment, but sometimes I'm like, why am I doing this? Why do I keep doing this podcast thing? And she's like, because you love it, and it's good for you. And like you said, like it makes you sane. So I need you to do this thing.
Yeah. Blow off some steam, damn it.
Yeah. So that's a unique person to find when you got that. And like you said, best friend,
Oh yeah. And like I said, it's something like because I grew up old school where it was like, no, men work, women stay home. Men work, women take care of the kids. She'll do the house stuff. I make all the money.
Right.
And it just that is not the day and age anymore. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, you know what? If that works for some people, that's great.
Yeah.
You know?
Hey, nothing against it.
Yeah. Myself, I love to cook. And so I wouldn't say all the cooking, I mean, but I do a lot of it, you know, more than probably your average dude.
Yeah.
But I had to get rid of that old like patriarchal mindset where, you know, woman's place is in the kitchen. I mean, I grew up in the 70s in rural Arkansas. So, I mean, that was definitely the mindset there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, that's exactly because when my mom worked so much, my grandma's the one who took care of me. And, you know, in a Mexican culture, it's not, I do everything. You don't know how to do shit. So like, you know, she'd do all the cooking, cleaning, washing. Like she would literally kick me out of the house. I need to clean the house today. Get out of, you know what I'm saying? So I never grew up doing anything like that. You know what I'm saying? I never, so it's just, you know, that's how I understood it. But, you know, once I like got out there, I was like, no. And then, you know, come to find out, I was like, no, in growing up in like that too, I come to find out, I like a clean house. I like shit organized. I like shit put in its place. And, you know, in relationships and stuff like that, some people don't grow up like that. Some people grow up with a messy room, and some people grow up with piles of clothes on the floor. That's the clean pile. That's the dirty pile. I'm like, that is not me.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I think, you know, going and challenging our beliefs like that, because some people don't ever get to the place you got to, you know what I mean? Or you grew up in this household where the women did the work and the men went out and they made the money. But, you know, you tweak that, you know what I mean? You challenge that belief, and that's huge. Just having that skill to be able to re-examine, you know, and I think it's a good thing every once in a while to take stock, even as I'm getting older, like challenging beliefs on everything, like, you know, being vegan. Well, is that right for everybody? I used to think it was, but maybe it's not. Like, maybe this is good for me. You know what I mean? But it's maybe not for everyone, you know, kind of thing.
Yeah. And then that's just one of those things too, is like, you know, I always make fun. You know, I do make posts of vegans all the time, but it like I said, if it makes me laugh, I always tell people, if it makes me laugh, it's going up. That's just what it is. You know, because sometimes, you know, stereotypes are funny.
Yeah.
I don't care what anybody said.
Oh, they are. You had one that it said, if a vegan does CrossFit, which one do they talk about first? Oh my God, you're the only one that very few people can make me literally laugh out loud when I see a meme. And you got them, man. You're always on point.
Oh yeah. No, well, you know, like I said, I take my memes very seriously. And you know, and that's the thing too, is like, did I tell you I had my heart attack in October?
Yes. And you were playing Slayer. Oh well.
Yeah. But
so funny, man.
Yeah, it's crazy as hell, because like I got COVID, and you know, on my last day, I was feeling like good. I was like, I woke up, I was like, 5 more minutes, I'm going back to sleep. And literally as soon as I closed my eyes, I felt the in my chest. I was like, oh shit. My God. Yeah, and I was like, I woke up, I got dressed, and my wife's like, you okay? I was like, I really don't feel good. So I went downstairs, you know, moved around, kind of like hoping it'll pass, and then took my blood pressure. And once you have a heart attack, you got to have a blood pressure machine, period.
Really?
And so I had took my blood pressure, and it was freaking through the roof. I go to the hospital, they do an EKG, and as soon as they get the first, like, because the EKG is like 10 seconds, and as soon as they get the first 5 seconds, like, nope, straight to surgery.
Wow.
So yeah, so like I went straight into surgery, and I had 100% blockage in my heart, and it's all from COVID, because it was blood clots. It was all blood clots. You know, like I have no pre-existing, or no, I do have a pre-existing condition, but I have no, like, you know, blockages, period. Like my arteries always been clean.
Yeah.
And so they were like, it's 100% blockage, and they're like, we had to put 3 stents in my chest.
Ooh.
And with the 3 stents, and I was awake the whole surgery too. So like, just like you said, they were playing Slayer. Yeah, like that's how quickly I had to get to surgery. They were like, nope, you're not going to sleep. Here's some anesthetic, and I feel better. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
Yeah,
man. So did that experience, like, did that change anything about your outlook, or nothing?
No. The only reason it doesn't change my outlook is because
I have this blood clotting issue, but the thing is COVID can do that to you.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? And so, but also too, come to find out, the flu can do that too.
Oh, no kidding.
So like, you know, I'm just more susceptible to, having blood clots. And because of that, the flu's dangerous for me and COVID's dangerous for me.
Well, see, then you definitely need to be taking cold showers.
Oh, yeah.
If you do that, I'm not saying people will never get sick, but it is way less of an option, because when you take that cold shower, you drain the lymphatic system.
Yeah.
Which is where that stuff comes in.
Oh, okay.
Sometimes. And I'm not saying that
if
you take a cold shower, you're going to be able to walk out into a crowd of 500 people and not get COVID.
Oh, yeah, exactly. We're not saying that.
No, but I think I'm not saying getting sick is optional, but it's we get sick a lot more than we probably need to.
Yeah, exactly. And it is avoidable. It is avoidable. You know what I'm saying? With good health, because the majority of the time I always get the flu shots, and usually I never get the flu, because I always get, every single year I get the flu shot. I'm good to go. Yeah. And with COVID, I got the vaccine, but sure shit, I still fucking got it. The vaccine doesn't say it's going to get you sick. But the thing is, if I didn't get that vaccine, I could only imagine how much worse I could have been, because
that's true.
For a week, I just felt like a train ran over me and then parked on me.
Wow, man. And this was before the
heart attack. Right? Yeah. I was literally like, it was the last day of my quarantine where I can go out and about. So I'm like, I'm going to go shopping. I'm going to, get all this stuff that I need to be getting done, because we've all been quarantined at the house. And so I had the heart attack, and then the surgery, I was awake, and I'm out of the hospital in 2 days, because I was not sticking around in the fucking hospital. I was like, no, get me the fuck out of here. Yeah, get me the fuck out of here. And then the reason I say all this whole story is the nurse that talks to me, because I have to go through this whole program of like, oh, we're gonna send you to a nutritionist, we're gonna tell you all these things. And the first thing the lady tells me is like, hey, would you be willing to switch to a vegan diet? And the vegan diet's one of the best diets you can do for post heart attack, and it'll help you stay healthier and better. Yeah. And so, but the thing is, I had to explain to the lady that because like my diet just basically consists of meats and fats right now, like literally like meats, fats, and then I do have some vegetables here, like maybe like 4 or 5 cups of vegetables a day. Yeah. But the majority of my diet is fats and meats. And I explained this to her, so, well, that's not good. And I had to explain to her, I was like, I know you don't know this, but I am healthy. And the reason I had a heart attack is because of COVID, and also because I had, blood clots. They're not caused by clotted arteries. So she literally has to pull up my chart, and she's like, oh, yeah, I can see it right here. But the thing is like, and the only reason I say this is because 99% of the people I talk to are the people that are eating fast food every day, eating junk food every day, and eating all this processed food, meat and food. Yeah. And, and she's all like, the people I talk to are like eating church's chicken 4 days a week. And you have to make this dramatic change, because guess what? You have like all this cholesterol and all this, artery clogging stuff. Yeah. And she was just like, these are the people I'm usually dealing with. So, that's why I go right off the top. And I told her, I was like, well, I am a large guy, but I like, with my muscle mass and with eating a vegan diet, I would have to consume so much food.
Yeah, you would have to have like a 10-pound bag of broccoli every day.
Yeah, exactly. And but like I had to explain that to her, and she was just like, like, thank you for explaining that to me. I now understand, because when I told her what my diet was, do not eat like that. Do not eat like that. I was like, you're going to have another heart attack. I was like, well, I'm on the healthier end of my spectrum, so I'm not too worried. I'm not going out eating church's chicken. Like, and I want to say probably this whole month, yesterday was the first night we went out to eat. We went to get what the hell? We went to Pyology.
Oh yeah, they've got a few of those out here.
Oh yeah, let me tell you how. Because I'm gluten intolerant. Oh yeah. They do cauliflower pizza.
Oh nice.
It's the most closest thing I can get to real crust that tastes good. You know what I'm saying? Because like a lot of the people's products are like gluten free.
Yeah,
is the most trash like food. You know what I'm saying? Like any place that sells a gluten free pizza, trash. Anything that gluten free sandwich bread, trash.
And they're going to charge you $5 more for it.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? But they have, like, I can actually get a decent pizza there because of the cauliflower crust. And I'm like, oh my God, thank God. You know what I'm saying?
That's interesting. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So you said something a minute ago about not being able to get enough protein on a vegan diet. And you probably know this guy more than I do, but there was this vegan that was the strongest man or whatever for a while. And I wonder what how he is able to maintain the protein. I've never like watched his What I Eat in a Day kind of thing.
Oh yeah, no, I've never watched his Eat in a Day. But the thing is too, is like he was consuming a lot of beans and he was consuming a lot of because like in strongman, it's not the protein intake, it's the calorie intake.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying? They do need to concern themselves with how much protein they eat. But the thing is to maintain that body size, it's calorie intake what it comes down to. So like,
interesting.
Okay. And he wasn't just eating like with, you know, I watched some of his stuff because I just wanted to check. He was eating like a lot of like going out to eat calories. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, really?
Yeah. So like he would go to vegetarian place or not vegan places, and he would order his food, and then it would just be like, you know, he's just eating whatever he can get. And also to like the one thing is like once you build a certain amount of muscle size, as long as you eat the calories that's required, the protein's not really a matter at that point. So he had already built size and muscle off a regular diet, and then when he switched to vegan, he did lean down and get a tighter frame.
Oh, I see. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
But like for me, I'm always trying to grow muscle, so it's like
that would be challenging.
It is. Yeah, it's like even with because like I'm working with a calorie restricted diet, and it's just to accentuate my muscle size, and that's all this diet does. It's like I'm not building muscle, but all I'm doing is losing weight and just creating depth in the muscle. So that's like it's just super fine line of working out and super fine line of eating. And the thing too is I'm not just doing it by myself. I actually have a professional.
Well, John, right?
Yeah, John, exactly. He's like, no, this is what you like every single day. Like it's crazy about his program is he'll tell you what to eat, how to eat, but it also like, hey, I'm having indigestion issues. Hey, I'm having this. Hey, I'm having, you know, like any little like weird thing that happens. He's like, no, text me and I'll explain it to you. And so every time it's like, you know, like, hey, because like everything's a time thing. So like basically doing intermittent fasting where I have my first meal and then 2.5 hours, I have my second meal. But if I get hungry before that, I eat. And then I wait for the allotted time. But if I get hungry before I eat, or I just wait to the allotted time. But sometimes I'm like, I'm having stomach issues where I'm getting bloated gases. No, extend it till you're hungry and then eat. So don't wait for the time. And then like flat. They're just like so many little different tips and tricks that he gives me. It's like, it's just like it's like, man, like I've been dieting my whole life a certain way. Yeah. And I thought I knew what I was doing, but then once he switched my diet over, I was like, yeah, man, this is pretty free. Cause like, I'm like coconut oil, almond butter, grass-fed butter, and olive oil. Those are basically the fats that I eat all day long. And then I just have, you know, like I'm having chicken, salmon, steak. And then and then the one thing I do get to do, which I do love, is I get to drink egg whites in the morning and egg whites before I go to sleep.
Now, do you do them raw or are you like
they're pasteurized? So like, and you don't like drink. No, do not do that. That is sickening. Do not do that.
Well, and there's what is it? Salmonella, right?
Well, it's most places washed eggs, so you don't have to worry about that. The only time you have to worry about it is when you actually get farm raised eggs and they just put them out there. You know what I'm saying? But the majority of them are all washed. But so you don't got to worry about salmonella too much, but it's still a possibility. I'm not saying you're not going to get it. Yeah. But if you get the Costco carton of eggs, they're pasteurized and cold pressed to drink.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so they're completely safe they're prepared for that. So like I typically I'll use about a carton and a half. So like 16 ounces in one cup or in one container. So I'll drink half it in the morning, half of it at night. And then and my first meal is usually 3 to 4 eggs with egg whites in it. But when you drink those, they don't taste like anything. They taste like water. Oh, but what I'll do is I'll take zero sugar Hershey syrup, or the coffee pumps. You get the zero sugar.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? It's like a little treat. You know what I'm saying?
Like a little bit more palatable, right?
Oh yeah, I can drink them just straight out like that. But I like to have something. I got the biggest sweet tooth in the world, bro. The biggest sweet. Like I will eat chocolate till it stings my teeth. You know what I'm saying? That's how much I love sweets. I love chocolate. Yeah. And so like in the morning, it's literally I get to have a chocolate milk in the morning and a chocolate milk, or like right now cinnamon vanilla is my favorite sugar-free one.
Okay. Yeah. Well, you got, it's good to sort of hack things like that, where you're, like you said, you're doing something that's helping you, but you're also making it taste good too. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, no, exactly. And one of my favorite is I love to air fry asparagus. Let me tell you right now. Oh,
I haven't tried that method. Hey, I've got an air fryer.
Oh, let me tell you, if I use avocados oil spray.
Yeah.
Just give it a little squirt and then throw your seasoning on top of it, roll it, throw it in the air fryer at 400 for about 13 to 14 minutes. If you let it sit, it'll get crispy, but if you pull them out, they're just a little al dente. But
give that a go.
Same thing with green beans, fresh green beans.
Air fryer.
In there. Oh yeah. You know what I'm saying? But every air fryer, so you got to kind of like just check in on it. But I know what mine's at a certain temperature, certain way. I'll pull them out and like chips. Like, awesome. I use the Asia the feast mode flavors. They have all these different flavors. So like the majority of the time I'm using this one, it's Asiago jalapeno, or if I want it a little spicy, I'll throw on the Tennessee whiskey. But nice. It just come out so good.
Yeah, I need to check into some of that feast mode.
Oh yeah, well, like I said, they carry a wide variety of flavors. Like we had I ate popcorn last night, and I bought this. It's coconut cream pie seasoning.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, it's like salt. They put it on the popcorn. Yeah.
And then does it have like any refined sugars or anything in there?
They only use beet sugar. That's all they use. There's no sugar in any of their. Oh, there's sugar, but it's beet. Not refined like that, white sugar,
bleached.
Yeah,
bone char.
Exactly. Yeah, they use it's all beet sugar in every one of their everyone thinks so. Like I said, and the one thing I love about it too is like me and my wife are trying to get away from cheap meat and cheap products to help ourselves get better. You know what I'm saying? We're like when you buy seasonings and you buy packets, it's got all that stuff in it. Yeah. So like, and you can't call stuff organic, but we're just trying to call stuff like, this is basic. You know what I'm saying? This is like without any artificial shit. We're trying to like kind of steer away. It's hard to, because almost everything has a preservative in it.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Like even too, like we've already even started considering to buying whole cows and whole pigs.
Oh wow.
Straight from the butcher. Yeah. So then we get that as fresh from farm without saline and all this stuff that's pumped into them, like
nitrates.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? We're trying to, we're making an attempt to go more I guess not, I don't know what the hell you would call it, but like we're trying to go more like farm to table, and be less like part of that cog, even though as much meat as I eat, it's very expensive. But if we can spend more money, or not more money, if we can spend less money by purchasing a year's supply instead of, every couple of weeks going in to shop.
Yeah.
Like I said, we're
we're trying to live as health conscious. My wife's like so scared I'm gonna fucking die all the time. And so like, you know, so we need to start. I'm like, you know, okay. You know what I'm saying? I'm so used to eating scraps. Yeah.
You gotta listen to her, because the factory farm meat is, man, it's not good.
Oh, you can tell the difference. You can tell the difference. Because like I said, with you know, I eat maybe 6 pounds of ground beef a week. And I eat maybe about 4 pounds of steak, and then maybe about 3 pounds of chicken.
Wow.
And but you know, that's just like, you know,
so you got to make sure it's good quality. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But the thing is too, is like, but the thing is like, you know, that money that costs for that meat is so freaking outrageous. Oh,
like, yeah, especially since, you know, the pandemic. I don't even buy meat, and I've seen it go up.
Yeah,
you know
it's so fucking crazy. It's so crazy.
I remember I was in the office. It was right before they sent us all home, and one of my cube mates said, "Brad, what are you gonna do, like if you can't get your vegetables?" And I said, "I mean, I'm not gonna let my family starve." I said, "But honestly, I think you meat eaters might have a harder time." Once these supply chain, you know, clog up.
Let me tell you right now, they California just passed a law for pigs. And like it has to be like a certain race, certain style. They can only be like pork is becoming a commodity now because it's like, so it's harder to get.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so it's like, you know, because like, you know, California is always big on you know, like, remember we had the whole chicken incidents where you can't cage them like this and you can't treat them like this, which I understand and I respect, because I don't want to watch that shit and I don't want to deal with that shit either. That's bullshit.
Yeah.
But
if you watch any videos, it's hard.
Yeah, it's hard. You know what I'm saying? That I'm like, fuck, I don't want any animal to go against get that. But the thing is, you know, now it costs more. Guess what? I can live with that cost because I'm still gonna eat it. But guess what? It's more humanely handled. And so like the same thing's going with the pigs. They're like, nah, you guys can't just slop them together.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it might sound like they're being a little tree hugger by doing that, but even if you're like, I don't care about animal welfare, just how the environments are and how filthy they are, is they prone to disease. I mean, you know, this is how we've had swine flu before. You know what I mean? Like
mad cow disease.
Yeah. And you know, COVID is another example of these zoonotic diseases.
Came from the bats.
Yeah. I mean, you know, people will disagree with that, but I think that's, you know, where it came from is just keeping these animals in filthy conditions.
And which, you know what I'm saying? And that's one of the reasons why, you know, I'm not an animal activist. I'm not some but I do care. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to see, like, I love my dogs, and the way people treat their dogs, fucking, like, I'm like, no, you know what I'm saying? And like every time I see, I'm like, you know, I get all fucking teary. I'm like, fuck, I don't want to see no animal abuse, because if I see that, then I'm going to do something about it. You know what I'm saying? I'll fucking, you know, if I see someone hitting a dog, I'm like, it's not my dog, but you about to get hit yourself.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because I treat my dogs better than I treat my kids.
Oh, I've seen the videos, man. I want to come back as one of your dogs in the next life.
oh man, those dogs are so spoiled. You know, we just switched, you know, and same thing with us. We did the same thing with the dogs. Like, no, we're giving them better food. So we're feeding them this new stuff. It's called Honest Nature, where it's a combination of fruits, vegetables, and oatmeal, grains.
Oh, nice.
And that are like, you know, all, you know, processed, you know, correctly, because it's human grade food, but made for dogs.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It almost looks like an oatmeal. And so it has, you know, dehydrated meat in it too. So it's like, it's got, you know, we tried the chicken, gave them a rash. We tried the turkey, gave them a rash. We gave them the beef, no problem.
Yeah.
So I cook up 4 flats of chicken a week on a Blackstone, chop it up, and then we put scoop in there and then scoop of the food. And so, you know what I'm saying? They're like, people are like, what the I'm like, no.
Those dogs are living like kings.
Oh, you're like kings. And that's not including the treats, man. You know what I'm saying? They are treated up. So
I lost one, you know, it's been over a year now, and spoiled the shit out of them, man.
Yeah.
You know, and you're adding years to their life by giving them better food. It's worth the investment.
It is worth the investment. You know what I'm saying? Like, because we got pit bulls, and both our dogs are rescue dogs. Awesome. One of our friends, they purchased a dog, and a blue nose pit bull, and they're like, we got him, and the place we live at said it was cool, but then as soon as we got him, it wasn't cool. And they were like, oh, and I kind of looked at dogs like, and I just started pulling, because we haven't had a dog in forever. Yeah. And I was like, I kind of mentioned to my wife, so yes. So, you know what I'm saying? So we got him, and then a year later, we're like, well, maybe we should get a second dog. And so Beefy, he's the brown dog. Okay. Getting a dog is so, at least it was hard because we were looking at adopting, rescue dog. And so we had to literally go through an interview process.
Really?
Yeah, like it was so weird.
Like you're adopting a child.
Yeah, just once we set up our first appointment, they were like, oh, we need a picture of your backyard, we need a picture of your house, we need a picture of your kids, your family. We need all this information. I'm like, what the fuck? And then we're gonna do an interview. So bring your dog and bring your family so we can do this.
Wow.
And we didn't even get that dog, but we had to go through this whole process, and it literally cost. Crazy. It was $450 to do this process. We didn't pay the $450 because you don't pay it until you get the dog.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is like, I remember just showing up to the pound and getting a dog. And I'm so like, I don't understand. And then my wife happened to look at the pound. They posted a picture of Beefy and Puppy, like they found him on the street. And I was like, let's go there. Go there right now. We get him.
Yeah.
And then as soon as we see him and play with him, oh, you can take him home right now. I'm like, huh? $27. I'm like, here, take my money.
There you go.
You know what I'm saying? So I just thought it was hilarious. So I was like, and then we ended up with 2 dogs.
And they seem to get along really well.
Oh no, they fight all day long. All day long. So Beefy's my dog. Macho is my wife's dog. And she works upstairs in her office, and I'm downstairs, in the living room watching TV, doing podcasts and stuff like that. So normally he's like, wherever I'm at, that's the room he's in. But he'll leave, go fuck with them, and then come down. Like he'll start a ruckus and start a fight, and like, no, I'm done now. And just fucking
just had to go stir it up for a little bit.
Yeah. I needed to fuck shit up. All right, I'm good now. I'm good now.
No, they work better in pairs. It's good you got two of them. Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, definitely. Like originally we were gonna get their I always say it wrong, but it's Presicanarios were originally what I was wanting to get. But when I seen them, I was like, no, what I'm saying, we'll wait, what I'm saying, because those are large dogs, and we need way more room for dogs like that. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah.
Because
I'm not there yet. I'm not ready to. I've got another dog, and she would probably raise hell. I've had her for 13 years.
Yeah,
she would raise hell if I got another one.
Yeah. I'm too young. I'm too old for this shit.
Yeah, so I'm not going to burden her with that. But I'm a little conflicted because dogs are my favorite animals.
Yeah, me too.
Just beautiful, and but man, losing them is like it's. Yeah, I have not. I was sobbing like a 5-year-old. You know what I mean? Like it was just.
Yeah, it's not.
Yeah, and so I don't know. It might take me a while to get back on that journey again. You know what I mean?
Trust me,
it's so rewarding.
It is. Like I'm trying to even think about the time that it must have been maybe 10 years, maybe 15 years since I owned a dog, and it's because I just did not want to deal with them passing, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like I'd never mind the extra work and taking care of them and feeding them, you know what I'm saying? That's nothing. But it's like, just like I said, like when they go or you have to let them go, it's like, this is like not what I want to do. This is like so difficult.
It sounds bad to say, but that loss affected me more than people I've known.
Exactly. And now trust me, because it's the truth. It's the truth. It pulls that I've had to let dogs go and let dogs pass. And it's like,
I did everything I could.
Yeah.
I did everything I could, but like I said, you can't beat time. And it's like, oh my God.
Because in a perfect environment, you're going to outlive them.
Yeah, exactly. Period. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's not very many dogs that live past, like 15 years, what I'm saying? It's just like, oh, and then, like I said, you see them, you love them, you play with them. I record them all fucking day because they're constantly doing shit. And, I just enjoy having them, but it, like, just like you said, it's like, it's worse than a family member.
Yeah. It sounds weird, but yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
Because they don't complain.
Yeah, they don't. You know what I'm saying? All they want to do is sit on your lap and enjoy you.
Yep. Yeah.
That's how it goes. That's a little depressing.
I know we're gonna end on a sad note.
I know, exactly. No, we're not doing that. No.
Yeah.
Oh man. So what do you have on the future coming up?
Man, I just, I've gotten into this habit. I used to really plan out my episodes, where I would do all this research. I would even, at the beginning, Ben, I would write it all out, and then I would read the script that I had written, and it was so time consuming to do that. And now I'll make a quick outline, and I just open up the mic Monday morning and, I don't even edit anymore for the most part.
That's good.
Publish,
That's good. I mean, that's how you got to do it. Like, hey, I literally sit here, press record, and then I just talk.
So in your process, do you do any kind of line, or
no,
you just kind of go from the hip?
Like the majority of stuff, the amount of research I do into stuff is I'll hear a trigger word.
Yeah.
And then I'll jot it down in my podcast bank, because I have a little podcast bank note on my phone.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, I like that word. Oh, that made me think of something. So I'll write that word down. So then, if I need some inspiration, I can literally look at my podcast bank and there we go.
Wow, that's awesome. I'm gonna have to try that.
Oh yeah.
Even now I'm still doing bullet points, kind of thing. I need to, and I think part of the pod fade is all that show prep that I've been doing, where I need to just be a little bit more like off the cuff, kind of style.
Little more loose, you know what I'm saying? It does go a long way.
Yeah.
Because like when you write stuff down, or you write it either, sometimes it comes off robotic, or sometimes it comes off like it not even it comes off, it breaks you down to a time.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So sometimes you can go off on a tangent, sometimes you can't, but it's almost like, no, this is all I'm doing. And then you just limited yourself right there, when you could have like completely gone off the rails and went a different way.
Yeah. It could have been better had I just thrown the script away. And
exactly,
like you said, maybe just have one word. I'm going to try that.
Yeah.
I'm just going to have one word.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. Like I say, because I listen to so much podcasts. I watch so much YouTube, and I listen, and like all of a sudden I'll hear something and it gives me like the sensation of motivation. I'm like,
yeah,
fuck yeah. And then I'll write that down. And then when I like I pop up my podcast bank, I'll be, there we go. Boom. Yeah. There's the trigger word. This is the word I'm emphasizing in this episode.
Yeah. No, I love it, man. Your stuff is, I always look forward to your new episodes. Yeah.
I've been a little more loose with my episodes, in like, Monday was Martin Luther King Day. But the thing is, if anyone listens to the show for long enough, I don't work on holidays. Period.
Right,
point blank. You know what I'm saying? And then I've also made it a point, if there's kids are off school, no podcast that week, because I'm concentrating on them, not worried about the podcast.
Right. Yeah.
And then so I've been trying to stick to 3 a week if I can get to it. But like yesterday I didn't post one, because this is going to go up as soon as we get done talking. And then like, there we go. Good for the week,
man.
Oh yeah. Like I said, that's just like after doing a fucking 500 I think this is 34 episodes.
534. Man, that's awesome.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if I'll get up there. I'm barely cracking 150 right now.
Oh no, don't worry, you'll get up there. I just fucking produce so much.
Well, Andy Warhol used to say that. He said, don't worry about what people think of what you're doing. Put out so much that you're just constantly churning it out. Like, don't ever worry about what they're thinking, because you just want to keep putting it out, like, in perpetuity. Just Don't listen to them. Just keep
Hey,
going.
and let me tell you now, that technique that works because doing that put me into that Legends of Iron position. You know what I'm saying?
That's
like,
how you did.
Yeah, that's like Jon Andersen reached out to me and was like, Ben, I want to come on your podcast. And I'm like, hell yeah. He's like, I like your motivation. I like your technique. It's the same as mine. So I'm like, fuck yeah. So he started doing we did the first episode. And then after that, he's like, you know, I'd like to come on again. And so he came on again, but he's like, I want to do a shorter one with you though. And so it got to the point where he's doing my show 2 times a month.
Yeah.
On Monday, and we come in, I'll throw out the ball, and then he catches it and slams dunks it. You know what I'm saying? It's like almost like a layup. Like I'll do a little talk, and then he does it, and he's like, I like doing this. Yeah. And then the whole time he's doing this with me, he keeps telling me, "So, I'm working on this project. I'm working on this project. I'm working on this podcast. We're gonna, it's getting ready to take off, and we're getting ready." I'm like, "Oh man, that's fucking cool. If you have any questions or you need some answers, I can point you in the direction of whatever you need." And not thinking nothing of it. I want to say in October, so in August, he's like, "Hey, I'm going to bring you in on this project. I need a guy. I need a podcast guy." And so he's like, "You're going to help me do this. I don't know what I'm doing. The people that I'm working with don't know what they're doing. They just want to do this." And I'm like, "Oh, okay, I could do that." You know what I'm saying? And so, I set up a podcast. We had business meetings, all this stuff because we're working with a major supplement company. And it's called Muscle Meds Company. It's even funny is it's beef protein. That's what they sell. Everything's beef protein, beef everything. Yeah. And so we're working with them, and they're like, "All right, hey, here's a company card. Here's this. You buy what you need for this podcast. Let us know." So they came up with a logo. Gave me the logo. My wife redesigned it because, like shit, she's good at graphic arts, anything creative. I gave her the snippets they gave me. She created put the logo placement. They threw some fire over it, and it came out. It came out crazy, and I was like, "God damn!" And then all of a sudden, next thing you know, I'm talking. We're doing podcasts, and now turned around. I'm a fucking producer now. Like
You're
I'm literally
a producer.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? It always says this is funny. It's like what young Jamie does in the Joe Rogan podcast is exactly what I'm doing here. Yeah. Where I'm in the background, and if anything pops up, I take care of it, or people, I'm like, "No, I got you." It's just so fucking funny, It's just like, no, that's the thing, though. Is I put in the work for years. Yeah. Created a platform, created this because all I did was work on that, because I threw so much, it finally stuck. And because it stuck, it put me in this position.
There you go, man. Yeah. You probably never even thought when you started this that you'd be producing a podcast at one point. Right?
Ever. didn't even, like I said, didn't even phantom the idea. I was like, if this takes off, this takes off. If it doesn't, guess what? I still have fun. Yeah. And then all of a sudden, I'm working with people that I've been following, watching, learning from, researching. And now I'm talking with every one of them. Like, how in the fuck did that happen? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, it happened because you put in, like you said, you put in the work, and you always show up, and things happen when you do that.
Exactly. And that's why I want to hear your podcast pop up every Monday.
I appreciate. I know I missed last week, but I'm going to get back on that horse on Monday.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah. Hell yeah. Well, Brad, I know. Shit, it's already been almost an hour. I don't want to hold you up for 4 o'clock. Yeah, 5:45. Goddamn, we were chomping it up.
I know, man. Hopefully people are still sticking with us. But it's always a pleasure, man. It goes by so fast with you because Ben and I will text, but we don't talk on the phone or things.
Yeah, exactly. We got a text message. Yeah, exactly. And I prefer having these conversations like this because then we get to catch up. We get to see what the fuck's going on. And you know what I'm saying? And it's always funny too, because
people were like, well, but I'm like, no, I don't give he's vegan. I'm a meat eater. And guess the fuck what? This should be the example of getting the fuck along.
Exactly. There was times in my life where I was very strict about people have to fit into this box before I will listen or tolerate them. And then, these meditations and cold shower, I realized you can talk to people that you disagree with on some things. In fact, you should.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like political, whatever.
Yeah. We can all be civil. You know what I'm saying?
I don't agree with my own self from like 10 years ago.
I'm a completely different person than I was 10 years ago. God damn.
Yeah. But I mean, that's how we grow. That's how we, but like you said, this maybe will inspire someone to have a conversation with somebody that they might not see eye to eye on everything.
Exactly. And you don't got to see eye to eye on everything, because guess what? We all have common ground.
Oh man, how many times have I changed my mind about something?
You
need people to challenge you.
Yeah, and teach you things. Like I said, I'm going to start working on more cold showers, and that's because of the conversation that we had. It's because I was like, I need that. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's a push. It's like you said, you planted a seed, and I'm like, this is something that's going to help me, and then help me put me in the mindset that I'm trying to change, because I'm always constantly trying to evolve my thinking process, because I used to be a caveman, and guess the fuck what? I'm still a caveman, just a little smarter.
Oh, yeah. I think you sell yourself short there, man. With everything you're doing, if you're the smartest caveman out there.
I'll take that. All right, everybody. Guess the fuck what? I'm part of the Inner Circle podcast. Brad, you can find him everywhere on every platform, the same as me. And guess the fuck what? I'll tag him in the notes so you can easily reach out to him. Make sure you listen to the Coffee Buzz podcast. And guess the fuck what? We'll see y'all motherfuckers on the next one. Fuck.
Always living.